In this thought for the week, I want to tackle probably the biggest challenge that we face in the church today where mission is concerned. Enjoy. Do you know, if I were to ask you, what do you think is the biggest problem the church faces today? I wonder what you'd say. I wonder whether you'd say it was about manpower, or whether you'd say it was about resources, or whether you'd say it was about a lack of strategy, or something like that. As I've thought about that over the past few weeks, I've realised that our biggest problem, our biggest challenge in the church today is none of these things. It's not resources because God can supply. It's not manpower because God can raise up. It's actually a problem where motivation is concerned. We lack the confidence and the courage to believe that God can and God will through us. And that's a big problem. If you think back to the early church, one of the things that really strikes you is that there were so few of them, and yet anointed by the Holy Spirit and encouraged by God, they gained great courage and great conviction and went out and shared the gospel with anybody who would listen and a fair few who actually wouldn't. It didn't take resources to be able to do that, it took courage. It took a conviction that what we had to share was something worth listening to, something that would transform life and make all the difference, both socially, in terms of society, and also individually and in community. And that's what we're to be about. One of the things I think is limiting us is the fear that there is in the heart of the congregation. The fear that we might be judged and found wanting, the fear that we might be ridiculed in some way, the fear that people don't want to listen or people have already rejected and will in some way be abusive. And the reality is that if that's the case, then actually we need a heart and mind transformation. Because the truth is that if they hear the true gospel, it will attract many. Because actually it's filled with hope, it's filled with grace, it's filled with mercy, it's filled with acceptance, it's filled with love, it's filled with power, it's filled with God. And so my challenge for this week to you is to think seriously about what limits you, what distracts you, what fills you with fear and prevents you from encouraging your congregation, both in word and in deed, to get out there and be Christ to the people that they meet, without apology, without embarrassment, but to be the good news. Because that's what church is all about, and that's what we as church leaders are to be about as well. If you enjoyed this video, then give us a thumbs up and press that like button. If you have any comments, anything that you'd like to say, then I'd love to hear your reflections on how you're beginning to reach out into your community. If you'd like to share this with others because you think they might find it helpful, then please feel free to do so. The Entheos Trust exists to help churches like yours to think through their strategy, their way of engaging with community, and get out there and do this sort of stuff. If we can help, then drop us a personal message or put a comment in the comment section below and we'll be in touch.